Jenny Tinmouth, welcome to Off Track.
Thanks for having me on. It's been a long time coming, hasn't it?
Well, we're maybe nearly 12 months in getting this together. You're so busy, you're here, there and everywhere.
Yeah.
You've got so much going on. It's just crazy. You've got the workshop here in Ellesmere Port.
Yeah.
And then Hollywood Stunts as well. And being part of the, is it second unit? Something like that?
Yeah.
If I remember talking to Rick English, it's...
Yeah, second unit.
Second unit. You've got so much going on.
Yeah, it's been a busy year. It's like flown by this year. I don't know where it's gone.
But this is the beauty of it, because you get to do so much. You've been at the Northwest, you've done a bit of the TT as well. You're in demand.
Yeah.
As well as being here.
Yeah, exactly. Because this is obviously my full-time job, where I probably should be most of the time. But yeah, I've been on a bit of an adventure this year with doing all sorts of stunt work at the beginning, like you say, Northwest. Job for Honda, which was fantastic. And then a few track days. Bit of this, bit of that. Yeah, I've been everywhere. So proper skiving from work, really.
Anything to avoid doing a proper job.
Yeah.
It's the right thing. It's the right thing. Tell me about what's been going on this year. We'll go to the racing as we talk through it and go back through the career and the records that you hold and the stunt side of it as well. Well, let's just go through this year, because they say it's been so busy and there's been awards and you've been here, there. And in fact, how much of the stunt things from this year can we talk about? Because I know from speaking to Rick English previously over the years, there are NDAs that you can't discuss. That's just part of the job.
Yeah.
But is there anything you can tell us of what you've been doing this year before we go into the stuff that's already come out?
I think I can. Obviously, I can't give any details about what I was riding or what exactly I was doing. Yeah. But it's for an Apple TV series. Luckily I went out to Japan. I'd never been to Japan before, so beginning of the year was in Japan. It's for a series called Neuromancer, so hopefully that'll be out. It's either the end of this year or next year, so big up to that. Go and watch it. Previously I've never ever said anything about what I've done, but I think because everything's on the net these days, you can go look that up already, and you can see bits of film work and stuff. So yeah, you're welcome to go and look that up. Obviously, I just can't say, like I say, anything that I was riding or what I was doing until it comes out. So.
Exactly that. But this is what we understand about it. But the whole stunt side of it, I'm looking forward to talking about that, because I've spoken to Steve Plater and he was part of that. Because we were pushed for time, we didn't ever get a chance to talk to Steve about that.
Yeah.
And about that side of it, which goes back to all the Mission Impossible stuff with Kieran, Mark Woodage involved somewhere along the line as well, and Rick English the same, and Wade Eastwood. Yeah. There's a few that have been involved in it. But from that point, on the track days side of things, what are you working on with the track days side of things as well? So you're still getting laps in. We can see the bikes that are behind the cameras at the minute around in the workshop.
Yeah, so luckily I'm sponsored by a company called WJ Construction. So Stuart and his lad, they take me out to, they started doing Spanish track days basically, and they take me with them just as if they need any advice, track advice or any mechanical, I'll jump in and help. So luckily for me, I get to go and play. So there's no expectation on me. They're just like, you go and enjoy yourself. But then if they need anything, I'm there, so to speak. So yeah, I've been to Portimao and Mugello this year. So I'm still getting to do loads of laps on my super stocker. So yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. I am very grateful.
Still keeping your hand in with it. That's the great thing. So you are still riding. The main point is you are still riding, which is brilliant.
Yeah, it's nice to know. I never want to, that's why I always have my own bikes. I never want to not ride. Like if I didn't own the bike, what would I ride? So yeah, I like having my own bike, and then it's just nice to keep your hand in, because I do still want to race because I love it. So I never want to, hopefully never get slow. So it's nice to know you've still got some speed as well. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a way of keeping your hand in, isn't it? I see we've got the stocker at the back, and there's a little supermoto as well, just to have a little CRF, just to have some fun on as well.
Yeah.
Just to look at both sides of it, because the supermoto thing is good fun as well, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. It's just good for skids and wheelies, and it's supermoto. So yeah, it's good fun.
What's been the biggest thing for you this year then? So as well as Japan and the other things that you've done, what's been the highlight of 2025 for you?
I think luckily I got a Honda job, so we were promoting it's A2 license. I should know these things. So for like young generation riders, promoting Honda bikes, and I went as a guide. So Dave G, the Red Wing, is it Media Group?
Red Wing Media.
Yeah, he took me out. I was just, like I say, I was just a guide, but I enjoyed it so much. I got to ride an Africa Twin around. We went to Croatia, Italy and Slovenia, and I had the best time. And I did say, I thought, this is just glorious, and I've made it. So anything on a bike in the sun was perfect. Yeah, it was a highlight because I'd never been to those countries. Well, I've been to Italy, but briefly, and never been to Slovenia. Slovenia is absolutely beautiful. Never been to Croatia, so I got the opportunity to do that and ride around on motorbikes for 2 weeks. So yeah, it was great.
If there's any more of those opportunities, you know where she is. Anything, especially at this time of year now, where it's starting to get a little bit breezy, and it's the back end of the season already. So let's talk about the racing side of things before we go on to the stunt stuff, because that fascinates me equally, both the racing and the on the stunt side of things. Take me back to the beginning. Take me right back where it all began.
So right back, I guess it's just being a person watching it on TV, I guess. I was a massive Formula One fan, touring car fan, bike racing fan. So growing up, as a family, we used to watch Formula One every Sunday. So it was like Ayrton Senna, Mansell, Damon Hill kind of days. I was a massive Ayrton Senna fan, and then I just loved anything cars and bikes. I was definitely a bit of a tomboy, so more aired on the side of cars and bikes. And Dad had a motorbike, so he used it to commute to work, and he had a couple classic bikes, so just a natural progression. When I turned 16, take CBT, get a bike for the road. So kind of very normal, not racing background, didn't have mini motos or anything. Didn't really ride a bike properly till I was 16. So my dad lent me 400 quid and I bought a TS125X Suzuki back in, I don't know when, but yeah, I'd done my CBT and then I could ride this basically as a learner. And I remember I was on holiday with my friend in Blackpool, and going to something called the AGS, a Matchless Owners Rally, and my dad got the bike and taken it there. And I remember throwing up in the car on the way because I was so excited to get on the bike. And I literally just learnt to ride that around the field.
That's so cool.
And then just rode on the road like normal. So back and to work. I don't know where I got the aspiration for racing, but I think watching like the Senna thing and racing in general, I had no idea how to do it. I didn't have any money. I didn't know how you started. I didn't know anything about it at all, but I really wanted to do it. I think because I didn't know anything about it and I didn't know how to start. I was like, this is like a super good challenge. I wonder if I can. So then I thought, well, I need to learn how to fix my own bike if I'm going to try and go racing. So I trained to be a motorbike mechanic when I was 19. So I did a 3-year college course, not far from here, up in Birkenhead. And then that meant I sort of had obviously a few qualifications then. So I asked to work in a dealership. I asked to work for free because I thought they're not going to take on a girl, which these days is probably fine. But back then I was like, I'm not too sure they will, but they can't refuse free labour, I'm sure of it. So I asked if I could work for free at weekends. So I was still doing the college course. Asked if I could work for free, got a job there. So then that progressed to a full-time job, and then I had an income. So I could fix my own bike, I had a bit of an income, so I could save up. So I saved up for a year and bought a VFR 400, and then basically asked the guy in the workshop, how do you start racing? He said, fill out this ACU licence, get a novice bib, and away you go. So I basically raced my VFR 400 first off, and again, completely ignorant to the whole racing thing. I literally thought, as long as I've got a motorbike and it's got set tyres on it, that's all I need. That's all I need. So
it's all in the beginning. That's probably all you would imagine you would need.
Yeah, I didn't understand the concept of tuning your engine or changing your gearing or having race tyres even, because it was literally the road tyres that were on it. So yeah, that was the start.
See, that's a completely different start, especially to nowadays, where like you say, people start on fab racing, metricates, the youngsters, young lads, young lasses all start on the way through. But to start relatively late, to then achieve what you did in the years to come, that's later than a lot of the lads had started as well, because a lot of the lads went through fab and did the junior classes.
Yeah.
But no, you went piling in on a VFR 400 and away you went.
Yeah, really late. So I was actually 21 when I started racing, so late. But no, I didn't have any other avenue to do it. That was literally the only way. And I think the thought of trying to do it gave me, I had enormous fire in the belly, to do it and just to see if I could. It gave me a huge amount of determination to try and achieve it, definitely.
It's fascinating to understand it from that point of view, because as I remember racing, it's like that Jenny just appeared. We'd had Cat Green, and there's loads of a fair few female riders that have come through in the 125 classes and what have you. And you look, and then you were the first one to ride the bigger bikes. And I think the only one so far to have ridden Superstock and Superbike.
Yeah.
Because, and I don't think we've had a female Supersport rider yet. I think Chloe did Stock 6, was about the biggest capacity we've seen a female racer go. And Kate from Preston, what's her surname? I can't remember. She did the 900 Cup. She did the BMW 900s, didn't she? So, but as far as Superstock and Superbike,
yeah, I think was it Patricia, somebody racing Superstock? There was definitely.
Did she do the odd ride in that?
I'm terrible names, sorry.
No, because there's Sandra Stomowa who did the roads, who still does the roads, but there was Patricia as well. And then there was Java Borbolite as well, who did, she did Ducati Cup, I think. So there's been a few, but nobody for me has done Superstock and Superbike.
Yeah.
They're the big steps for you and becoming a factory Honda rider as well.
Yeah.
Which blew everybody away. Tell me about that journey from running your VFR 400 as the Honda to then having a full season on, was that 2015?
Yeah, with Honda.
With Honda Racing UK alongside Jason and Linny.
Yeah.
What a journey.
Yeah. Hard journey, but yeah, a journey. So, okay, we go back to the 400. I realised quite quickly that it wasn't competitive because everyone's got tuned 400s pretty much. So I did a couple of races on that and then thought, right, this is not a race bike and I can't afford to turn it into one. So I sold that. And luckily enough, a friend of mine called Ian Quayle, who came in the workshop. I used to work for a company called Bill Smith. So he used to come into Bill's all the time. I think Bill owed him some money. So instead of Bill giving him the money, he said, well, give me that little 125, little RS 125. And I think it was in 1992. And then he basically let me race that. So my first race on that was at Aintree. I've got a picture of us actually with me and my novice bib on. And I remember it was when Casey Stoner came over because I didn't have any two-stroke oil. I remember getting some two-stroke oil off his dad. So yeah, it was right because I was still at college and I remember like everyone going, oh, this lad's coming over. He's going to be something special. And it's Casey way back then. So
he was with Ian Newton, wasn't he? Was he racing with Ian Newton at the time?
I didn't know actually.
Casey?
Right,
he did Super Teens, didn't he? And I'm sure he lived on Ian Newton's drive for a little while.
Yeah.
While he was doing it, but the Aintree, Casey Stoner, and
yeah, it was cool. So raced that little 125 for I think a year possibly, and then like most.
Thank you, by the way.
That's right.
Two-wheel workshop.
Yeah, like most races, you sell your current bike to fund the next bike. So I kind of progressed through two other RS125 little Hondas. So I went from the 1992, I can't remember the year, the next one, and then up again to a later one. And then I did club level. I think it's 10, you have to have 10 results to progress to your clubman. So from novice to clubman, then from clubman, you have to be in the top 10, I think, to get to nationals. And I got to national and I started doing the MRO championship, which evolved into Thundersport. And then obviously there's loads and loads of British riders in MRO championship because they were pretty much using the MRO to practice for British. So then I kind of, because I remember going to Alton Park, my local, and watching and trying to suss out where I thought I would be in the pack of 125s. Trying to look into the future of one day I want to be in there. And then so you kind of made sure I was getting quick enough, had a few wins, I'd won quite a few races and podiums and things. So I was like, I'm happy now. I think I can be competitive enough for British Championship. So 2003 basically just dove into British Championship, like properly in the deep end of all the racing. I just dove in the deep end because I thought, well, if I want to get better, I need to be in a hard class. So like the MRA was difficult. And then 2003, first year of British 125 Championship. I think it was that year I did break both my wrists. I think it was that year or the year before. So Bill basically lent me a 250 race it. This is a long story.
No, go for it. This is all about you. This is why I've got a brew, and this is why I'm just sat here listening because I love it. So you tell the stories.
Yeah, so I was on a 125 at I think we were 100 at Anglesey. I'm not sure if I'd podiumed on the 125. Jumped on the 250. Never raced one before, so I thought, well, I'll hang back a bit and suss it out. And they went into the first corner so slow, and I thought, I can win this. And then because I'd hung back though, I then thought, my mindset just changed. I thought I can win it. And I just gave it the biggest hand, full throttle at the wrong point on the track. Like my first high side. I must have landed I must have been like that because I don't remember landing like that. And yeah, just break both wrists at once. And then so I was out for a bit, but then, yeah, it was my first race back there. I won my first race back and I was like happy with that because I think most racers will say the most inconvenient thing about being injured is the time it takes to get better, not actually the injury.
Yeah, nobody cares about the injury.
No,
it's how long you're off the bike.
Yeah, exactly. So as soon as I was fit again, I was straight back on. So yeah, and then British Championship progressed. I kind of got stuck at 125 level in British Championship because I couldn't afford to move up. So the next progression was the 600 Super Sport class, but so expensive, and I was barely making it through 125 Championship. So like 2005, I remember thinking, I'm gonna have to quit because it's just I had literally no money. So it was a point at which me and Steve had set up this company. So we'd left our old job. I had no income. I'd sold a bike to fund doing this, but I was determined to do British Championship, but literally beg, borrow and steal everything. So my entire racing career had been second-hand tyres, normal pump fuel, because we were just trying to get away with not using the race fuel, and then just second-hand everything. And I got to halfway through the year and I thought, because my bike was so slow as well, like ridiculously slow, and I was like, this is just, I don't think I can do it anymore. So I did think of quitting. And then it's funny because I'll go home and I'll just dig in harder. It's really weird. So I was like, well, nobody's going to come and help me, nothing. If I want to keep going, I've got to keep going myself, and I've just got to dig in even harder. So I did, so carried on. 2006 got a bit better, and then 2007 was really good, a really, really good year. It was that good that Suzuki offered me a ride on their superbike at Mallory Park Race of the Year. So I got to ride that, and I was teammates with Cal Crutchley when he was riding for him. So that was a dream come true.
Tell me about that. Tell me, because that's part of my notes, because I have got that written down actually. The stepping from the 125 and the 250 class in, what was it, like your fourth year of racing, when everything's been such a struggle, nothing's been handed to you, and then all of a sudden Paul Dennin and Crescent Suzuki, the Rizzler Crescent Suzuki, like, Jenny, do you fancy a ride on the bike?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Oh, it's so good. So I asked John Reynolds to be my mentor kind of that year. So I sort of was chatting with them anyway, and I'd had a really, really good season. My results were good, and I was setting good pace, I think, for privateer. And I think because of the mentorship thing, and then I don't know exactly where it came from, but I think because I remember when I got in the lead of a British 125 Championship race at Brands in damp conditions on slicks, because I just got used to riding in damp on slicks. So I managed to get in the lead, but then I crashed on not far into my lead lap. But I remember walking down pit lane and everyone clapping me, and I think it was the Rizzler team that were part of the clapping, so maybe I flagged something up then. I don't know. But
that was the point where everybody started to take notice.
Yeah.
It's like, hang on, if you can do that on the budget you're on, what can you do with a bit more support?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know, but so got that off. And the good thing about the Rizzler thing was, obviously it's cool being teammates with Cal Crutchley now, considering where he's gone to. But also the bike that I rode was Chris Walker's bike that year, and I'm a monumental Chris Walker fan. So we were sat in the crowd at Donington when his bike blew up, in 2000. Yeah, and like devastated for him, but yeah, huge Chris Walker fan. So for me to be sat on his bike, it's funny because there's a picture of me sat on his old bike, his superbike from 2000.
The Clarion Suzuki.
Yeah, a picture of me sat on it there. This is sort of when I was dreaming of racing, and then to me to be sat on his actual superbike to get to race it was like, this is just the coolest thing ever. But it was such a massive step from 125 to a superbike, because I didn't know how far I could push the tyres. I didn't know anything, it was a huge step.
Electronics as well?
No.
There wasn't that back then, was there? That was pre-electronics, before we did Morelli and everything.
Yeah.
Before all that fun came in and Frankie Carchedi started weaving his magic. And but when you're on those bikes, and you've all of a sudden you've got, I don't know what it'd be creeping up towards 200 horsepower.
Yeah.
Back then.
Yeah.
And you get your first run out at Little Mallory Park.
Yeah.
With this big handful of a machine. On a scale of 1 to 10, how nervous were you?
I don't know, actually. I can't remember being nervous. I was just more nervous.
That's cool. That's good.
Yeah.
That you're not in that nervous perspective thinking, oh my God, me, I'd be like, oh my God, what am I doing? But belief in your own ability.
No, I think the thing was, I knew it was more because I wanted a good result, but it's like, there's no way I can have a good result because I don't know how to ride it. It's like I need to go and do about 4 track days somewhere to learn, or even more, to learn how to ride a big bike. So it was a bit like, I ride it as best as I can, but I don't actually understand how to ride a big bike, if you know what I mean. So I was more worried about not putting on a good performance.
Managing your own expectation.
Yeah,
that's good.
I feel like I could. Obviously, you want to prove yourself, don't you? But it's like, I don't really have the opportunity to prove myself because I literally am in the deep end and I don't want to crash it. I don't want to do anything daft. I do want a good result, but I don't know how to ride it. So I'm just gonna have to take whatever comes my way and enjoy it. So I did. That's what I did.
Can you remember your first pit exit on it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool. I mean, what an opportunity, It was fantastic. I just loved it. But I remember going back the year after, because then I went to see British Supersport the year after 2008, and I thought I want to go back to Mallory Park and I want to beat my lap time what I did on the Suzuki, because now I know a little bit more. I mean, I've come from 2-stroke to 4-stroke, because I didn't know how to ride a 4-stroke. So once I'd done the season on a 4-stroke as well, I went back on 600 and did a faster lap time. So it's like, now I know how to ride one.
But to have those people looking out for you, to have John Reynolds, who at the time, he'd already been double British champion at that point, hadn't he? To have that kind of level of people looking out for you, and Paul Denning, and your name being across those garages, were you aware of it sort of more along pit lane as that time progressed, or was it just kind of the Crescent thing, or did you kind of think, hang on, there's a future here, potentially?
Yeah, I'd say no, because me and Steve, my business partner here, we were just such a small team and very keeping ourselves to ourselves. So I was really massively unaware of the rest of pit lane and what the thoughts were or what was going on. We were so in our little bubble of our team.
Jenny Tinmouth achieved everything she has by being blissfully unaware.
Yeah, exactly. Not a bad place to be.
It's not, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I think it's a fascinating angle to look at, because I'm a big believer in just being in the moment of where you are. And if that's where you are at that moment in time, take it for everything that it is. Like sitting here now, whether it was Scott Redding a couple of weeks ago, Tommy Bridewell a couple of weeks before that, this is where we're at this moment in time. So you enjoy it for everything that you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It doesn't matter what's going on outside. It doesn't matter what's going on in the garage next door. You just concentrate on doing what you do. Is it such a great way to go racing compared to this day and age, where everybody's comparing themselves to each other, and there's all the social media side of it, and everybody's aware, and you could just kind of operate under the radar and do your own thing.
Yeah, to be fair, I loved being operating under the radar. It was like kind of like a nice place to be, because you just assume no one's taking any notice of you and you can do your own thing and try and come out swinging, if you know what I mean, but from a hidden place, which I really liked. Yeah.
Would you, if the opportunity, I know that this is kind of a strange question, are you comfortable with the way that you did it, or would you have accepted that this day and age's social media and the push that is for lady racers and everything, and the media that comes with it?
Yeah.
Would you prefer to have had the support that some of the lady riders have now, or are you just happy with the way that you did it, and because of your personality, you are who you are. You're quiet, you're reserved, you're not going up and down pit lane going, look at me, I'm a lady racer. You just get on and do what you do.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely the era of get on and do what you do, and we're all humans, we're just humans having fun. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. It's difficult. I mean, because obviously the social media thing's a huge thing, and we need money in the sport, and you need social media. So I totally get it, and I got it when I was racing. I didn't. It's kind of at the time it was like a byproduct, but I totally understand the need for it. And social media these days is really, really good because you can promote yourself without needing other people to promote you. You can do it yourself off your own Instagram, your own social media, etc. But so yeah, I get it. But I am the era of we're all just humans doing a cool thing and having fun. And I think lots of people are like that. So I don't.
If you're fast enough, you're good enough.
Yeah, totally. Especially
doesn't matter.
No, I think bike racing as well. I think everyone can compete together totally, and they can. So I always thought our sport was so good that there was no barriers to it. Nobody said I couldn't do it. So
that's the key.
Yeah.
Nobody said you couldn't do it.
No.
I know we've got a question from our patrons to go through later on, which goes into that side of things. So I'll not cover that one as we talk. But for me, I fully agree in motorcycle racing. If you're fast enough, you're good enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are physical restrictions with a superbike or a stocker. Fortunately, you're strong enough to deal with it.
Yeah, I think there's a point at which you get strong enough. Yeah. As long as you got to train harder being female to build up the muscle mass that the guys have naturally got. But then you look at them, some of them, they're not the lean, the lean muscle. It's not, you don't have to be big and bulky. So I do think women can be at the same level as the guys. And then it's about bike setup and understanding your tyres and electronics and all of that, plays into it as well. So it's not necessarily like boxing whereby it's completely different. Yeah,
exactly. But it's the same with swimming. Anything that's kind of a physical in that side of things.
Yeah.
Then yes, the physiology difference between a male and female comes into play really quickly.
Yeah.
But from motorcycle racing, you look at what yourself, Maria Herrera, you look at the ladies' championship, the WCR that they've got going now, is great. When it's difficult because they're at such different levels, but you're putting in ex-world champions with ones that are progressing from sort of club racing, national championship.
Yeah.
And the disparity is there. But when you put them all together and you see what Chloe's been doing over the last couple of years in super teens and junior super sport, she's stood on podiums, she's breaking lap records. So there's absolutely no reason. The sky's the limit.
Yeah, totally.
For me, I completely agree.
Yeah.
It's exactly how it should be. And then to see you on a superbike with the Honda. But from that point of getting on the superbike with Ridley Suzuki at Mallory Park, how did that change your approach to racing? Or did it? Or did you just carry on taking it step by step?
Carried on taking it step by step.
Thought that might
be
okay.
I think I got because it's like the jump to Supersport was just the cost of Supersport. But it's another thing where I was like, well, I need to do it this year or it's not going to happen. So luckily for me, the lad called, remember Aaron Walker, based in the 125s? Yeah. Well, he had it was a 10 kart CBR 600, but it was the older shape. So they changed in, I think it was 2008 to the newer shape. So he was selling his older bike, which was it was a gem, but no one wanted it because it was the older shape.
Okay.
So it was sat there over the winter, no buyers.
But again, if it's good enough, it's fast. Yeah. It's fast enough, it's good enough.
But I'd seen it as like the spec, the 10 kart, it came with spare wheels, spare bodywork, spare everything. And Tommy's dad was immaculate. No, they had the best. It even came with a 10 kart manual of how to set it up. If your bike is running wide, do this. Literally, a manual. It's like, this is exactly what I need.
Jenny's new Bible.
Yeah, exactly. It literally got like A, B, C, and D of what to change. If your bike's running wide in the corner, do this. And then it had like a sub thing of what the outcome would be, whether you might lose this or you might lose this. And then if, it was genius.
It's incredible.
I've still got it. So basically, rustled up enough money, sold the 125s, which I wish I kept, but sold my 125 to fund the 600. Went over to Coventry, picked her up. But it was literally, I'd spent everything. I didn't have a penny left on just buying the bike. And I had no tyres. So I said, because I remember it was he bought a new bike basically, the new shape one, and they were racing at Brands. I think it was the first round. And I said, "Can I have your scrubs from Brands if we come down and get them?" So me and Brad went down in the van to Brands just to pick up some scrubs for this bike. And I remember it was the year that it snowed, so we were keeping in the back of the van in the car park. And there was white stuff coming in the back door. I was like, "What is going on?" And we literally opened the door, and it was just like 1/2 foot snow. I was like, "I can't make it up."
I remember that clearly. A lot of people who were there kipping in the vans overnight remember it clearly as well.
So I was like, "Oh, I didn't miss anything by missing this round." So yeah, and picked up some scrubs, but literally I was so on the edge of literally round by round of scraping together enough money to do it. But the bike was a gem. I don't think the chassis was as good as the newer one, but the engine was strong. It was fast. And I remember, I don't know if it's the first Darton Park or the second one. It was a wet qualifying. I out-qualified. I got third on the grid. I out-qualified like McGuinness and Glenn Richards and all the top platers, all the top names. And I was like, if it rained for the next session, I would have been third on the grid. And I was like, oh my God, what am I, I would have been nervous then, but it was dry for the next session. So I was towards the back, but.
Let them do what they want to do.
Yeah.
But again, it is pushing yourself to the front of it again, isn't it?
Yeah, and I like the wet. I was always pretty good in the wet. So yeah, I remember actually that qualifying lap, I came around, is it British chicane? And it was last lap of the session where...
Before you go over Hilltop.
Yeah. Last lap of the session where you're like, well, this is the lap, I can win or bin it kind of thing. And there was a guy in front of me. I thought, "Oh no, he's going to mess up my lap," and he high-sided out there. But I was like, "Oh, thanks very much." He's out the way. I can just like get my head down.
Brilliant.
I think because I wasn't completely savvy on how to set your bike up, I think my bike was probably quite soft and it just suited those conditions. So yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense.
It was ignorance rather than anything else.
It's soft and comfortable.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it's good in the wet.
So in the wet, it works really well.
Yeah.
But that's as you look back and as we sit in that and you do that retrospective thing, everything is built on the effort and the struggles that you had, because nothing was handed to you.
No.
In any way, shape or form. Everything has been fought tooth and nail for and scrimped and scraped.
Yeah.
And to still be here in the workshop 20 years later, with all the accolades you've got, you've been to Japan, you've done a raft of massive grossing movies. Sometimes you look back and go, what the hell?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the good thing, because from where it started to the cool things I've got to do, it's like, it's been brilliant. You know what I mean? None of it was expected. So
Sometimes it's better not to have a plan.
Yeah, and just enjoy the journey of it, as they say, but it's true.
And 100% it is. Yeah. It's the same that we do with the podcast and what we've done over the last few years with that. Some of the opportunities we've had, the people we get to talk to, you just sit there and you go like, this is just cool.
This is cool, yeah.
We're really lucky to do what we do. We're fortunate. I have no idea what's around the corner. I have no idea what we're going to be doing this time next year. Not a clue. Yeah. I have absolutely no plan with this at all.
Just take it as it comes and enjoy it.
Keep rolling on with it. So that, when you did the Super Sport, was that Super Cup?
Yeah, Super
Sport Cup Championship, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But there were race wins, podiums.
Yeah, I actually
fighting for the title.
Well, the annoying thing was in points I'd won the Super Sport Cup Championship, but they did I think it was the only year where they did a count back where you lost two of your best. Well, no, sorry, two rounds.
Two rounds of your choice.
So it was a 12-round championship, and we'd all done the 12 rounds, so it was fair. But you lose two, so it was based on 10-round championship. So I ended up third, but I mean I'm still chuffed to bits with that, and it was good. I had such a good time, and then obviously with that, like Dan Neal, unfortunately not here anymore, but like we had a brilliant time racing together, and I have enjoyed it massively, and it was such a good season. I did a lot in that year, so I enjoyed it.
Was that the year everything changed in terms of then thinking about maybe the roads, then moving to split lath? Was that the season that kind of brought you to the fore of everybody's thinking, and all of a sudden the focus changed slightly?
Maybe. I think we'd just done everything that year. So it was actually second year of TT. So
was that second year already? Crikey, you'd already started it.
Yeah, so the TT 2009. So I did basically 1 year on the 600.
Of course.
In 2008. I thought, right, I know how to ride a 4-stroke. I'll try that again, the TT. Because
Tell me about that thought process.
they got rid of the 125 and 250 class at TT, and obviously I've been on two-strokes up till 2007. Obviously I wanted to go and do it, but I can't just go there on a four-stroke and not race in one.
Why did you want to go and do it?
Because it's the thing to do, isn't it? I think because working at Bill Smith's, he's obviously a massive TT rider. This guy called Tim Leach worked there as well. He, massive TT rider. Bill would have I think a group of Argentinians over that race at TT.
Okay.
They would camp in the back of the workshop and prep. He'd lent them bikes, so they'd be there prepping for it. And then my first year over there was 2000 with Bill. He took me over with my little TS 125. So it was there and the thing to do, you know, as soon as opportunity arose. And I felt like I was competent enough, obviously, to go. I wanted to go, yeah.
So before we go back to the British scene, let's talk about the roads. Talk about the development of that. And you tell me about your first ever lap. Because I always find it, I'll give you a chance to think about that, because I always find it fascinating. Because everybody talks about the best things in that you hold the lap record, you're the fastest lady around the TT, but everything has to start somewhere. So you have to depart down Bray Hill for the first time at some point. Tell me about it.
So a racing lap or a learning the track lap?
Both, because they're completely different.
Yeah, because learning the track lap, the first ones of those, I was like, I have no idea where I am. And then racing lap, just excitement. Because obviously I'm following Milky Quail. We do the controlled lap.
Yeah.
Just complete excitement to actually be on such a famous course, to be allowed to do it, for the roads to be shut and you can ride through red traffic lights and on the wrong side of the road and all of that. So yeah, I think I was a bit too giddy, to be fair, just like trying to take it all in.
I do wonder about that, because when the riders because everybody, I mean, when you have the opportunity, and so many more do it these days than have had the opportunity previously, going over 7 or 8 times, doing higher car lap, it's great to know where the course goes, but it's not at racing speed. So at least you've got a rough idea of where you are on the island. But I always imagine that when you sat behind Milky or Johnny Barton and you're doing it for the first time and the buildings speed up, it's like going through, like, I'm at the bottom of Big Arrow, I'm going through this, or I'm going over the mountain. The excitement versus concentrating on what you're doing. For me, I'd be the same as you, go like, this is so fucking cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
No idea where I am, but I'm having a great time.
It's exactly that, really. Because you're thinking, well, this is amazing, you're looking around, and then you're like, oh. And he's actually concentrating on it, because you go, like you say, you start going at speed, then you haven't really got time to be looking around, and obviously making sure you've remembered ticking off everything that Milky's told you. So yeah, it's the combination of giddiness and focus. Like, yeah.
So when you sat on the Glen Crutcher Road for your first ever race, and you go through into no man's land, and there wasn't Tapman there? Or was he?
Yeah.
When you did your first race? I can't remember whether Tapman was there or not, or whether it was on the flag. But as regular listeners and viewers of the podcast now, that man at the TT holds so much weight for me, because it's almost that fatherly hold on the shoulder, and then it's like, off you go. And that's the last contact they have until they come around and you're back in your garage again.
Yeah.
The guy gives me goosebumps. I've no idea what his name is. I've never spoken to him. He's just like this mythical figure that comes out for 2 weeks every year and then disappears again. But what's that like when you're going through and you're paddling down there for your first time, and you're just looking down that as the road sort of drops into St Ninians?
Yeah, I don't know. It's brilliant. It just, I don't know, I like that guy as well. He's like the best guy. Because you can kind of feel everyone else is around you is a bit nervous, but he doesn't, he's like confident. He's like, you're gonna have a good time. I don't know, it's quite good. But
yeah, the last thing you want is him.
Yeah, him going, good luck.
See you in 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, he's cool. Yeah, and then when you're looking at the road, obviously you're just thinking about what you've got to do and keeping your concentration and zoning in on the tarmac, I think. Because like, same with the first time I went round, too busy looking at everything else. Remembering just to focus on the black bit in front of you, not everything else. So not
the bits whizzing by at the side.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, it does not focus the mind for sure, you know, thinking about what you've got to do and where you're going to go and how you, hoping that you get a good result as always. And just thinking about your bike, yourself and the track pretty much.
I find that when we talk to a lot of the TT riders, once they get to that point, because you kind of, every 10 seconds you're moving forward, you're almost constantly moving forward. Once the mechanic's done, have fun, see you when you come round, nothing matters after that. To almost every rider I've spoken to, that's it. That's the most relaxing time.
Yeah.
It is such a strange switch from being sat on the curb, waiting for the bike and pulling the bike up onto the Glen Road, and then everybody, you can feel the electricity. But once your visor comes down and it's just you and the bike and you're heading to the start marshal, to the tap man.
Yeah.
It's peaceful.
Yeah, it's the best time, definitely.
For want of with a small p rather than the capital P.
Yeah.
Peaceful. It's peaceful to a point.
Yeah, because you can get in your own zone then, and everything else has kind of disappeared, and you're in your most comfortable place, I think, because you as a rider with your helmet on, your visor down, sat on your bike, is like your happy place, kind of really. You're in your zone and you're thinking about what you want to do. So yeah, definitely, it's probably the best bit. And then once you go in, nothing else. You don't think about anything else. So
I've never asked this question before, and it's just occurred to me. How far into the first lap are you before you actually start to relax?
Probably like Crosby that way, I think. Yeah.
Was that 5 minutes in?
Yeah.
Something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, because you settled in a bit then. Got through some big corners, and although Crosby's a pretty big corner, but yeah. Yeah. But yeah, and you've generated a bit of heat through your tyres, and yeah, you can kind of settle into it.
It's not 5 minutes in at all, because isn't Glen Helen 4.5? You're a couple of minutes in anyway, aren't you, by the time as you go through the dip at the traffic lights, up past the church, and then you've got DJs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you settle down after there in Balagary.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few coming up that you're like, ooh. Balagary was always one. Just like hold your breath over that, but yeah.
Through there, I've watched from the church at the top of, just after the traffic lights before you drop down into DJs. I've watched from there, but when we went last year, we watched from Gorsley. So from Harold's Wall, watching from there.
That's fast, isn't it?
That's fast.
And it's so close to the wall as well. Yeah.
Did you get to the point? It was an incredible place to watch from. But everything, that feels, I know you've got the wall and the furniture and everything else, but that feels a little bit short circuit, because you can tip it in and basically you can draw a line through it. And it took my breath away. I've never watched from Balagary. We just never had the opportunity to watch from there. But then you see through Kirkmichael and Rencullen, and the bottom of Bagara, so many places that you can watch from that just take your breath away.
Yeah, it's just, well, we all know it's a speed, but it is a speed at those places. Just, bottom, it's just mind-blowing, isn't it? It's worse if you're watching, I think, than riding.
I find this, and this is when we spoke to Hickey earlier in the year, and he was explaining the difference in the speed. He said from driving around town at 30 miles an hour to getting on the motorway at 70, 75, things change, but then all of a sudden it feels normal.
Yeah.
And then when you go from 75 to 30, you're like, great. This is, and he said it's the same principle at the TT. He said once you've got your eye in on the first few sessions of practice week, you're not aware of the speed. You're aware of getting your point to point right and getting your lines right and your corners right, your corner exit, your corner entry.
Yeah.
That's where you make up all the time.
Yeah, and that's where, like the 3-year thing comes in as well. Because I definitely, my first few years, I was aware of the speed rather than getting my eye in on the corners. And it was only till pretty much the last couple of laps of the last race of my second year where it felt I wasn't aware of the speed so much, and it felt easier. That's that thing where they say it feels easier. So.
And they say the Plater said that so many times, that the 3-year thing is so important.
Yeah.
To get that progression and just go step by step, and which makes what Glenn Irwin did in 2022 don't think a lot of people do, but I don't, there are still some out there that don't quite realise that for Glenn to do 129 in his first year,
Yeah.
I know he was disappointed not to get 130 because that's what he was focused. He was dead keen on getting the 130.
Yeah.
But to do a 129, was it 129.9? 129.7? It was up there.
Yeah.
It's just like,
yeah, incredible. Like the commitment and the homework he's put in to do that. Yeah, and literally he's committed 100% to doing that. Like you saying, I mean, he did have a little bit of road racing in the north.
he'd done the northwest, yeah, exactly. So he's
used to the
speeds.
Yeah, but nevertheless, yeah, absolutely incredible. I think anyone does it over 120 on the first year is incredible, definitely.
The things are moving on now, aren't they, in terms of lap times, and sort of the 130 club is the old 125, the old 120, as things move on.
Yeah.
But to do what you did out there in the time that it took you to do it was pretty special. And learning the course in the time that you did. And again, doing your own thing. That was the coolest thing, because it wasn't part of a massive team. You were doing your own thing in typical Jenny Tinmouth style. I'm just going to turn up and do it.
Yeah, try to like hide. But yeah, so I've done the 1 year on the Supersport, and then 2009. Luckily, I mean, Paul Phillips said he considered me fast enough to do it because I was doing all right in Supersport, which is the first box ticked. And then he said, basically, if you're going to come over, you need 1,000 as well, because the more laps you get, the better. So Jim Stock built us a Superstock Fireblade, borrowed that off him. So it's through, I had a sponsor called sorrymate.com, Ferguson, Sorrymate. He got that together for me. So went over with my Supersport bike and Super Stocker just to get as many laps in as possible. And so the TT was literally my first ever road race. I didn't do anything else. I didn't do Manx, Northwest or anything. So literally, I think that's why I was a bit like, this is amazing. Because I'd literally not experienced it before. So other than riding on the road myself, I used to do after work, I used to do a cheeky few laps of a few roundabouts and that close to me at like midnight, thinking there'd be no coppers around. So for actually somebody to go, here's the road for you. So I think that's why I was so giddy over the whole thing. But yeah, it's brilliant. But I didn't get the most out of the foul, even though, I did look at the speed I did the first year, but I didn't really know how to ride 1,000. I'd never pushed the 1,000 to the max. I'd not raced one. I didn't know what the tyres would do. So I literally rode it the best I could, but kind of rode it like the 600 because that's the only thing I knew. But it was brilliant. Yeah.
When you say about pushing the 1,000 and things like that, and going from the Supersport to the Stocker, how would you changed as a rider in that time? Because you've gone from 125s, 250s to the Supersport, the 10 carter bike, and now you're pushing on with a Stocker as well.
Yeah.
And you'd had a sample of the Superbike at Mallory. Could you feel yourself changing as a rider at that point and learning how you were developing more as well? Yeah,
definitely. You have to mould to the bike. So I think 125 Supersport is a good progression because you carry what you've learned, all the craft that you've learned on your 125, the corner speed, you carry to the 600, but you have to get rid of a bit of it because you've got too much corner speed. And then the progression again to the 1,000, you pretty much want to get rid of most of it, but you've learnt your craft, and it's good as a rider because then you've got a base setting of yourself, so to speak, that you can then mould and evolve to suit the next bike that you're on, if you know what I mean. It takes a while, and I think it would be definitely better to have a more experienced teammate with you. So now when you see teams where they've got an experienced teammate and then a younger guy coming or girl coming through, you can learn so much off an experienced teammate. But I kind of had to do it a lot by myself and sort of through reading, articles from other racers that go, you need to point and squirt and you need to get it stood up, which sort of things that I'd read, rather than being able to go to somebody and saying, going on track, being on track with somebody else would be good. I was just trying to learn, learn as I was going and try and suss it out the best I could.
With all the resources that are available to people these days, to do that again, mainly on your own with Fergus and sorrymate.com that sponsored you for a lot of years, that there comes a point you go, well, what could you have done if you'd have been in with a teammate? And, what more could you have achieved on top of what you already did achieve if you'd had the support of another rider and a slightly bigger organisation? But then the more I've got to know you over the years, the more that's just not you.
Yeah, I would have liked that, but I didn't have that opportunity. And then for everything I've ever achieved, I take massive pride in it because I've proper had to fight for it and try and learn myself and just give it my all, best I could. So I'm super proud of absolutely everything. And I really, really enjoyed myself, which is the main thing.
That underlies everything.
Yeah.
Because you get conversations, you'll have heard it from riders before, and you go, wish I'd enjoyed it more. Because they're in a pressure cooker of an environment, and what we said about being in the moment and not being able to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And this is so refreshing to listen to a successful racer that's suddenly gone, do you know what? I had a really good time.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, and it made me laugh, and it was just so cool to do what we did. Whereas some look back and go, yeah, I wish I'd enjoyed that more.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed it. Even when it was tough, like I said in 2005, I was like, I'm going to quit. But I even enjoyed the struggle of trying not to quit, if you know what I mean, which is, I don't know, it's just targets to aim for, yeah.
And but also having the workshop as well, it was true privateer. It's like, well, it is the old adage, well, we're back at work on Monday.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to come back.
We've got a job to run.
Yeah, unload the truck, get back like midnight, unload the truck, try and get home, get to bed, and then we're straight back in on a Monday. But again, I'm back in motorbikes, aren't I? So I'm like, this is cool.
It's just that. And it one of the things that I love about doing it's being around. I've never raced. I'm rubbish on a bike. Trust me, I am absolutely rubbish. I enjoy it. But I'm pure hopeless because I've never ridden enough over the years. That's why I do this and not that, because I can't do that. So it's easy to do this. That's always been my look at it. And I get to talk to great people. So, I've crashed on Ron Haslam track days. We went trials riding at the start of the year back in March. And we took Christian Idden, Max Cook, Darren Fry, and a couple of our great patrons with us. Woeful.
I bet you were.
No, honestly, thanks. But I was Herculeanly shit. But I had the best time.
Yeah.
That was all that mattered.
Again, as long as you enjoyed it.
I had the best time.
Yeah.
We were up in the top field, and that was enough for me. And then we started going through ravines and rock climbing and stuff like that. That's not for me, this.
This sounds like you're going to be asked to go out more, just for like...
If I had the opportunity, if the opportunity came to go out more, I would do. But, like Ido was just like, whoa, this is such good fun. Darren Fry and Max is, as Ido said, Max is like semi-pro on a trials bike anyway, so he was having a ball.
Yeah.
He was Sarah, our instructor. Max was like, well, can I do this? And how do I do that? And can I have a crack at this? And these big logs and stuff like that. So Dave just sits back and goes, after you. So it is, but it's the excitement. But it's just about bikes, isn't it?
Yeah.
The people you meet, the opportunities that you get.
Yeah. It's
an amazing little world that we inhabit.
Definitely.
That I find. So tell me about a TT lap for you. When you're out there, do you have sections that you look forward to more than others, or were you just, it's the TT, this is what I enjoy the most?
Yeah, I think definitely sections that you enjoy more than others. There's some that terrify you.
Which? You can say it now because you don't have to ride it.
Probably Ballycry. That's scary. Every time I didn't know what the bike was going to do over that. It's literally lap of the gods over that every time. I guess Crosby was quite daunting. Ballycary. So there's a few, there is definitely a few daunting corners, and then there's more, especially if you come from short circuit, there are more scratchy areas where you feel more comfortable.
Ramsey to Cronk, more than anything.
Yeah,
that seems to suit the short circuit riders more than anywhere else on the course. Hickey, Steve Plater held the course sector record there, didn't he?
Yeah.
For a number of years until Michael beat it.
Yeah.
And you kind of look at it and go, that's kind of, it's a bit more open, it's a bit more flowing.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, it's a bit of everything, isn't there? But yeah, just fantastic place to be, and like super privileged to get to ride it, I think.
What was behind the decision not to return?
So I went back in 2010 and then had a brilliant year. So I did everything that year. The Supersport Cup, we did a World Supersport round, TT and break my own lip record again, like beyond what I thought, you know, was over the moon. And then obviously I'm still progressing. So I'd done the 125 Supersport, and I had, again, huge determination to try and get into British Superbikes. That was the goal after watching Chris Walker back in the day. So I would love to be in there. So everything just went into the trying to get into British Superbike pot, pretty much. So yeah, I mean, I nearly folded this business going to the TT because we were doing British Championships, so we were closed the weekend before. It's 2 weeks over there, so we were shut for practically a month. Yeah, and we're not earning, we were just spending. So it's a huge commitment because we had knock-hill when we came back from TT, so barely here and then you got overheads and everything. So it wasn't really a thing I could continue to do, and I desperately wanted to do British Superbike. So like I say, everything, I was super happy with what I'd done at TT. I enjoyed myself, but I was like, right, on to attempting to get to British Superbikes.
Split Lath Aprilia? Yeah. In the early part of 2011?
Yeah, 2011, yeah. That didn't go that well, to be fair.
It didn't seem to go well for hardly anybody.
No.
With the setup for what it was. It came in kind of all guns blazing with Derek Redmond supporting it, and yeah, there was a lot of it came in with a lot of pomp and circumstance.
Yeah, they had John, who ran it, John Dimblow. He huge amount of money. I'm not sure what his business was, but a huge amount of money and massive infrastructure, but not a huge amount of experience in racing and running a superbike. I mean, he ran superbikes, but he didn't come from a mechanical engineer. You know.
Usually in that case, they bring in a team manager who knows racing.
Yeah.
Al Gardner, Paul Curran.
Yeah.
Prime example.
Yeah. You need somebody who's been in it and knows it and understands it. Yeah, so it was fantastic. I really, really appreciated the opportunity because it was my dream. You know, somebody was giving me a superbike ride, but it was a disaster pretty much from start to finish. So pretty much it started with testing. Really, I kind of had to go. I really wanted to go testing, but they didn't want to go, so I borrowed the bike to go, just a standard bike. Went off my own back kind of to go, and then there was lots of things really. I just couldn't stop it weaving under brakes. It just would get into its own tank slapper when I was braking, and the harder I broke, the more it got into a tank slapper. And there's a cool picture of me actually surfing the bike into one of the corners at Croft because it was wet, and I just braking, and it would start like a pendulum, and there was nothing I can do. I couldn't drive out of it, I couldn't brake out of it, and it just flung me off, and it kept doing it. And then the bike, lots of it kept breaking down, so it was overheating, bits were breaking, but we weren't allowed to touch the bike. We weren't allowed to touch. Sorry, we weren't allowed to touch settings, and it was just. But it was so hard to give it up because it was my dream. Yeah, I was. Again, I was nearly in tears, thinking I don't want to give it up because this is where I want to be, but it's not good. So, yeah, again, nothing. I think it's more nothing against the team. It's more lack of experience, And I appreciate
circumstance.
Yeah, and I totally appreciated the offer. It was a dream, but I did think I'm going to have to give it up because it's not going to go anywhere, and I'm just going to be throwing myself to the weeds, and the bike's just going to keep breaking. I wasn't enjoying it. So yeah, it was only lasted three months, unfortunately, and then I just dragged my Supersport bike back out for the rest of the year.
But the opportunity to stay on the short circuits, that was the great thing about it, rather than, as you've shown so many times through the chat already, quitting's not an option.
No, I just love it.
It's just too cool to give up, isn't it? Wherever you can, just keep going with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
what happened after that? So with the Supersport Cup and with Split Lath behind you, what happened after that? Well,
I'd already thought, I need to run my own thing. So my head was always thinking I need to try and get a superbike. And luckily for me, Stuart Higgs had changed the rules to try and make it cheaper. So the Evo, they had a set of Evo bikes, which were less, engines were pretty stock, is what the spec is kind of now.
Yeah, it was a start, wasn't it, of the path to where we are today?
Yeah, exactly, to make the class a lot cheaper. Luckily for me at that time. So I bought, it was Craig Fitzpatrick's Evo Superbike, which is that one there, which you can't see. Yeah. So end of that season, 2011, I think, I bought it for 2012. Again, it was cheap because no one particularly wanted it because it was an Evo bike and they weren't, I can't remember if they went full Evo or not, but obviously it was older. It was a 2008 bike, so it was in 2012. It's like 4 years old already. Yeah, and it wasn't like a front, it wasn't a top three bike or anything. So kind of it was sort of sat there at a good price, come with spares. So
that's important.
Yeah,
It needs to come with spares.
So basically chucked in everything. And I was super lucky. I got an amazing sponsor as well that helped out to help me buy it and help me fund the season. So yeah, I got that superbike, and then we just basically went testing on that and tried to get up to speed. And I already knew from my Supersport times I could qualify for the back of the grid for superbikes. So I thought, I'm not going to embarrass myself. I'm going to have a go. So that's how that went.
And when you look at the results through that time, with the kit that you had, you didn't embarrass yourself.
No, I did all right. I look back and I actually consider, I was on the oldest bike, like hands down the oldest bike on the grid and hands down the smallest budget. And just me and Steve fundamentally running it. I was like, we actually did all right. Yeah.
I think you did all right. I think it was a bit of an understatement.
Yeah, and I
think you qualified almost every race.
Yeah.
If not every race, that's it.
I think so, yeah. And I don't think I was last.
No.
I don't think I was ever last. I don't know if I was ever last. I don't think I was. But yeah, and also like suspension setup, minimal. I didn't understand the intricacies of that or the Motec system or anything. So we were very much jump on it and ride it as fast as I could.
With the pace that they're running now and the teams and where BSB's at now, imagine trying to do that again now.
Yeah, I can't see it. You're trying to.
It'd be harder again.
Yeah, I think more the money as well. Like trying to buy, because I could just about get away with that. Like 'cause it was current model shape and everything.
Yes.
And I could get spares for it. But it was an older bike. But you couldn't get an older bike now.
You wouldn't run a 4-year-old bike in BSB now.
No, you couldn't expect to, because it's so, depth of field in the whole class is huge, and just trying to compete, getting tyres, testing, everything is like to the nth degree, isn't it? So yeah, I don't think you could.
Budgets are exceptional now.
Yeah.
So while you run it, and everybody can picture the colour scheme of the white and blue, everybody from the helmet, from the leathers, the livery, you could be picked out in every race. There's a big thing that if you're not on the front, you need to be seen.
Yeah.
And that was with the reflective blue, and everybody can picture it that's listening and watching now.
Yeah, it's a bit of a DIY job, that's all. Don't look too closely. Stick it up in it.
From a distance. It's
That's all right. But yeah, I mean, again, luckily, you said go back to the girl thing. I think I just stood out anyway. It's like, oh, there's a girl on the grid.
It's the old Grandad and Rodney thing.
Yeah, so luckily for me, as much as I didn't really want to stand out, I just did, because you kind of can't help it.
The blonde ponytail taking out of the back. There's Jenny. Doing Jenny things.
Yeah.
So when you found your feet on that, and you were putting in really good performances, along with Hardinge and Sorry Mate, and tell me about the call, and how did you end up on a factory Honda?
Yes, I remember. It was a funny story again.
Because this is all about you.
This was 2014, so I was still running that in 2014, my own team, and I basically ran out of money. Got the Mission Impossible 5 job, which gave me some money to fund me to get back in the championship. But while I got the Mission Impossible job, which is all secret, I couldn't tell a soul, Nick Camplucci from Honda had been emailing me, and I feel really bad because I was extremely cagey about where I was and what I was doing, and thinking nothing of his emails, because I'd never even dreamt of what they were about. So I was a bit aloof. And then eventually got in touch with him properly, and he's like, because I'd basically at the end of the year, I'd asked Honda if I could buy some forks off them, and went up to Harv and said, can I buy some forks for my bike for next season, just some help with parts. And then Nick said, would like to have a meeting with you at the NEC. in November. So went along and I was like, oh, they're going to possibly help me with some parts. And he was like, how would you like to ride one of our bikes? And I was like, couldn't believe what I was hearing. And then I thought, oh, they'll lend me a bike, it'll be their bike, but I'll probably be running it. And he's like, well, no, if you're going to ride our bike, you're in the team. So I was like, I couldn't believe it. I'm going back to the car in the car park and ringing my mum. I just never, obviously, everyone says it, and they always look up to the Honda factory team as the pinnacle of the teams in the championship. So yeah, when Nick suggested that, I was, didn't believe it at first, but yeah, it was true.
So alongside Dan Linfoot and Jason O'Halloran, as the factory rider at Honda in BSB, plus all the testing, plus everything that you get, the dealer days, the corporate side of things, what a complete turnaround. You couldn't have gone to a more complete team for everything that you had to do.
Yeah, the opposite.
Did you get a car?
I didn't want the car though.
Why?
I'd rather have gone testing more than have the car. I'd rather the money would have gone into...
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds really ungrateful, but...
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Because when you put it into perspective and everything that you said previously, going back to split lath, testing.
Yeah.
So important. Bum in seat time, more important than a nice car to pull up outside hearing.
Yeah,
So I get it.
I didn't want it, which is really bad of me, but because I didn't actually get to go testing at the start of the Honda journey. They wouldn't take me, so I missed out.
As a rider, why did that? I didn't realise that.
Yeah, I didn't get to go, which I was so gutted about. There's a few things I didn't get to do.
Why?
They said they didn't have a bike for me. So I said I was happy to take my bike, but they wouldn't let me go. So I didn't get to go. And then, so the car was like, I didn't want the car. I want to go testing.
Yeah.
So,
I never realised that. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Just genuinely looking back, if Linny and Jace are getting all these laps at Monte Blanco and all the rest of the places, you're an equal member of the team. So you should have been there as well. I'm not just saying that because you sat here, but as announced as a factory rider, you should have been doing the same things as Jace and Linny.
I personally thought the same. I was desperate. And there was a few things like they went to like a sports institute thing for a fitness test. I was desperate to go.
Yeah.
It's like I need to know where I fare on the fitness compared to my teammates, because I love my teammates, but I want to beat my teammates. But they wouldn't take me to that either. I was like, I really, really want to get. I want to go. I want to know how much training I need to do, and I want to know how fit I am in comparison. And I didn't get to go to that either. There was quite a few things. To start the season, to be fair, I wasn't particularly in a good place, because I was like, this is already not good.
Can I ask you quite a deep question on this then, while I'm thinking about it? And you can choose to answer it or not. And this is from Honda's point of view. I'll probably never get to speak to a Honda rider again, but I'm going to ask the question. How much of it was they truly believed in you in a rider? How much of it was PR?
So I'd say Nick completely believed me as a rider.
Yeah.
He said I was offered the ride on my own merit.
That's important.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that to be any different to the answer than you just...
No, Nick's fantastic.
So I'm not talking you down or anything. I just...
No, but I felt... I did feel in the team that I was third rider, defo. Which I found it difficult. I found it so difficult, I'll be honest. Obviously, love the team and love all the mechanics, and I love Jason and Dan. They were brilliant. But me personally, I definitely felt like I was on another battle really, within the team.
Here we go again.
Yeah. A deeper one though. A deeper battle really. Especially from the start, from the off, not being able to go testing and not having the fitness testing. I thought, wow, okay, I feel a bit on my own again here. Yeah,
I didn't know that, because I know you've done chasing and racing, blessing with Chrissy and Dom a few years, 4 years ago, I think now, and our great mate Chris Pritchard and the general. But I didn't go too deep into them because I want to learn as well. So if I'd watched them all the way through, there's nothing much for me to learn because it's already there.
Yeah.
So just as you were saying that, it just kind of came to me. It's like it's interesting to find out where you sat in those. Did you get the same privileges? And clearly you didn't.
No, I was definitely not. Like there's things with the bike that I didn't get, and there's quite a few things. Like I didn't have crew chief for I think it's 3 months, a couple of months at the start, and I was on the wrong tyres to begin with, and there's quite a few elements that
I feel really bad at bringing that up.
I know, but no, it's good. No, it's funny because on the flip side, it was like what an experience.
Exactly.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. I can't take anything away.
As I say, I'm not throwing stones at anybody,
Yeah.
but the situation, as happens a lot in motorcycle racing,
Yeah.
isn't quite what it looks like
No,
from the
and I
outside.
just see it so often, like in so many other riders, where they're like, if we'd have just done this, or if I could have just gone testing here, or because obviously as a rider, you know internally what you need to be fast.
Yeah.
And you have this expectation, and you go in with an expectation that.
Well, you will, because that's your stepping point now that you grafted for so long.
Yeah.
You're going into the factory Honda team with all the whistles and bells.
Yeah, you were like
The
guns
factory-
blazing. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And no question you got the ride on merit. It just, when you get into it and you suddenly go, well, hang on, why didn't you get that? And why didn't that kind of drop in place? And how can you measure yourself against Linny and Jace when you're not on the same material?
Yeah, like engine-wise and chassis-wise and bits and pieces. I'm not taking anything. Again, the bike's fantastic.
Yeah,
Again,
the experience was amazing, and the light that it shone on you was great.
yeah.
But just under that surface, it just because you will, as is the way with you. Yeah, but you had a factory Honda, and you weren't much quicker on the factory Honda than you were on your own bike or whatever. The results still weren't there. It's like, yeah, hang on a minute.
Yeah, and I think also like because I've done all of that with no teammates and myself, and not huge amount of setup experience, like I was explaining. I thought there's somebody to guide me here and tell me, fill in the missing bits that I don't know.
Sponge.
Yeah,
Give me the information. Teach me.
Yeah, that I don't know about. And then, like you say, as it started, before I even got to the first round, I was like, I feel. And then because the spotlight's on me as well, and I didn't wear all the uniform, I was like, don't feel prepared for this at all. And there was a lot, but on the flip side, it was good in other ways. And like Dan and Jason, they were so fantastic with me. Like when we were testing, if I needed to know anything, I asked them and they'd help. So yeah, it was good, but I think because you know what you need to be good, and my expectation, I remember getting into a meeting and they're like, what's your expectation? I was like, well, I want to win. I don't know if I will, but that's, and they were telling me to lower it to like, but I was like, no, I couldn't lower it. And I was having a battle in my head thinking, well, I don't understand why I need to lower it. I can't talk myself into it. It's like, no, I want to win. So
why does anybody go racing?
I know even when I was on my own bike at the back grid, you're like, I still have this ambition and thought process, and all of your in between races is to progress and get better. And
If you didn't want to win, you wouldn't overtake anybody.
well, no,
You wouldn't. It's like, well, why am I bothering?
yeah, that was my train of thought.
For the amount of races that I've met over the years, it's why you go racing.
Yeah, I mean, whether you do or you
Trophies
don't.
that we got behind us, and the champagne and everything we've got for through all the classes, through all the series.
Yeah,
That's why you go racing.
yeah, but you can see it like you can see it with riders' content because they know what they need, whether it's testing or it's this or it's that, and then, when to try and get that is the thing, isn't it? To get all those dots.
Lower your expectations.
Yeah, get everything lined up to win. But I guess when you go into it with that mindset at the beginning of the year, you're like, let's. And then when you have to like take a back step and just chill a bit, you're like, it's the frustration as well. Like, you'll know what I mean, talking to a lot of riders.
No, I get it completely.
Yeah.
I get it completely. So I kind of like, where am I in it with things now? What would I be doing on my own bike? And having fun racing.
Yeah, and then
Because that's what it's all about.
and then giving yourself the things that you know you need. So beginning of the season, I know you need testing. It's like trying to do Wimbledon without playing in tennis, you know.
But they said they have Queens 2 weeks before, they used to. Queens was always the warm-up for Wimbledon to get them used to being on grass, going from wherever they've been on the clay at Paris. But there's always an opportunity to practice before you actually go and do it.
Yeah. So, well, obviously, having my own bike, I could.
Yeah.
So,
but then you get on the factory Honda and things are a bit different.
Yeah. I mean, the year after, I just went on my own. I took my own bike. I didn't even ask because I thought, I'll just go because I need to. So, it's a good job I kept all of that.
It is, yeah. You don't want to be selling that to fund anything else. In the fact that she's still sat there is amazing.
Yeah.
So when the Honda thing came to an end and you kind of went back to what you know and love because the experience wasn't quite what you hoped it would be. Still a fantastic experience. Yeah. We'll make sure we get that across because it was a fantastic experience with everything else that came with it. But from a Jenny and a racer point of view, you go back to doing what you love.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, and also, so in 2017, they actually wanted me to sign a contract to say that I wouldn't race, which I wouldn't sign, which also baffled me. But
who did?
Honda did.
To say that you wouldn't race?
Yeah. Or that they would be able to veto it if I did. So, but I wouldn't sign it because
I don't understand that.
No,
at all.
I wanted to race, but then I had some opportunities, some stunt work opportunities. So I'd done more racing, obviously. So I raced my 600 in 2017. I think just one round or 2 rounds. And then...
Because you've never officially retired, have you?
No, definitely not.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No.
You've never officially retired. And I'm baffled by what you've just said.
Yeah, I was a bit baffled, to be fair. But I wouldn't sign it, to be fair.
No, good.
So yeah, then I did...
Yeah, we'll not dwell on that too much because that can open up a whole world of... Yeah, anyway, move on.
But I got basically got rescued by Ashcourt team for Superstock. They rescued me for a year pretty much, put me on their bike, their S1000. So that was cool. Enjoyed every minute of that. Yeah, they pretty much... just nice to go there and ride in that team, obviously with Lee.
Yeah,
Superstock,
exactly.
so that was brilliant. And then managed to rustle up enough money to get my own Superstock as a 2020 Superstocker.
The difficult season of 2020.
So, yeah, but that was good. And that bike's is such a good bike. So it's brilliant to compare the old 2008 Superbike with no electronics and everything, and then the newer Superstock.
Yeah, that's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, with your old anti-wheelie traction control.
Everything's on there.
Yeah, it's a lovely bike. So.
And it's great that you've still got them both.
Yeah.
And you're still pulling in the track days on that one. Do you take that one or that one to the track days?
Definitely take that one. So that one needs recommissioning. I don't want to put too many miles on the engine.
Okay.
So that's just done a few Goodwood and a few hill climbs. But that one's
yeah. Beautiful looking machine.
Yeah.
Have you got? Well, no, I suppose you can't. Can you? You can't even go into doing anything with WIT and people like that to do. Can you do some coaching on the track days?
Yeah, so
you still do a bit? Because then that takes you away from this a bit more, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's the trouble. So last couple of years, Drinky's like, are you coming to instruct? And I'm like, oh, I can't, I'm working. I've actually got to put some hours in the workshop. So I've not been this year and last year. And then I really wanted to get a training bike, but I need to get a Yamaha. So I need to get an R1 training bike because they're sponsored by Yamaha.
Yeah, of course.
So to do the one-to-ones.
You can't rock up on the...
Yeah, but I'd love to do the one-to-ones and we could get you on it.
I'll be up for that.
Cool.
100%.
Yeah.
If we can make that happen, you can pick me out of the gravel, no problem.
No,
Imagine how cool that'd be for a podcast.
Yeah.
Get a couple of friends along to film it and make me look like a complete knobber.
No way, you'd be brilliant.
Never.
You would.
I'd be a complete knobber. I think I look like Pecco and I just look like a pillock.
You will be done.
I did that at Donington Park, hotly pursued by my shoulder and my head. But that's the great thing is that you've never retired, so the opportunity is still there, and you're still keeping your hand in as well. So, will we see you back for any wild cards at any point?
I don't know. I kind of tumbling with the wind at the moment just to see what comes up. Because, like I said, I've had a stunt work that is just a completely different new experience, new opportunity, and I really wanted to take them because I've been racing for 20 years now. So I was like,
and the longevity in that side.
Yeah.
Is more than the racing side, isn't it?
I guess, I don't know.
There's some old stunt people. Look at Rick.
So. Yeah, oh, he's not old. But yeah,
Is he similar in age, but younger than me, isn't he?
Yeah. But it's cool, like the things you get to do, and the bikes you get to ride and the places you get to go. It's just completely new experiences and meet some cool people and have some great times.
So we've covered the racing side of it, and thank you. That's absolutely fascinating. So when you go Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, The Mummy, Mission Impossible Fallout, Black Widow, Dead Reckoning, The Killer, Batgirl as yet unreleased, because that was on IMDb, so you can say about that one.
Cool. I didn't know if I could.
It's up there. It's on IMDb. That's where I got it from. I'm not anything else. Not throwing you under the bus with that. But from go back to how that all started, because the movie side of things is somewhere that most normal people will never get to experience. So you talk to Brains and Kieran Clark, and I've had the pleasure of talking to Rick on many a time. It's a completely different world.
Yeah.
But when you're in it and you're accepted, that's basically it. You're on the end of the phone, and when you're needed, off you go. Is kind of what it feels like.
Yeah, it's very everybody. It's very small. It's a big world, but it's a small world, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The core like stunt people all know each other and all interact, and they all bounce off each other, or like the stunt coordinator will know who's suitable for a certain role. And for Rick, for instance, he's he gets called up for all the big car jumps, anything bike related. He's kind of like the go-to man, and everyone knows him and relies on him and knows how good he is. So yeah, once your name's kind of in there, you do get banded around in the same sort of circles. You'll find same sort of stunt people and core stunt people are on all the different big movies like Fast and Furious or the Bond films, or they all sort of move to the same ones. Yeah.
We were down in London back in April, end of April, and they were filming, and I think it's Jack Ryan they were filming at the time in actual London, because at the weekend nobody is around, and I'd posted a video, and this is like a bit of Hollywood magic. It was a Range Rover, but the dude was sat in the back driving.
Oh, cool.
And he just down on America Square, not far from Tower of London, and you see this guy sat in the back, and he pulls out, and the steering wheel moves and everything else. I posted the video, and Rick's like, "Mate, why didn't you message me? I'm just driving a taxi."
Brilliant.
You're at work. I'm not going to interrupt you while you're at work. But how did that opportunity come about to work on Mission Impossible?
So Wade Eastwood, who you've mentioned, he's always worked with Tom Cruise on missions, so he's like the main stunt coordinator with Tom. They were looking for a female double for the lead actress, Rebecca Ferguson, to ride a sports bike on a mountain road. So my name got put forward. I think somebody asked somebody, and then somebody asked Whittam, and Whittam put my name forward. Obviously off the TT, because I've ridden a sports bike on a mountain road, basically. Yeah. So we went down for audition, and it just, went from there. Everything was happy days. So luckily got picked for it. And
was it on that one, or was it on later? Do I remember Danny Buchan's been part of it or something?
Yeah, we did a reshoot at the studio. Danny
I literally didn't dream that, did I?
No, Danny's like so tall. He's got his police rider helmet on. He did a bit of reshoot for, I think it was Fallout at one of the studios. Yeah.
I remember it happened, and Steve Plater was part of as well.
Mission 5.
Of Mission 5. There was a little crew of you.
Yeah.
Kind of British.
David Knight as well.
The Knighter was on it as well. Yeah. So it's a completely different world, and one that I find absolutely fascinating, because a lot of waiting around and everything, but how it's all filmed to what we don't see is mind-bending. To be part of a in some cases $1 billion Hollywood production, and there you are again sat there going like, this is just so cool.
Yeah,
I get to do this, and I get to do this for a living. Wow.
Yeah, totally. And just to get to experience how a film is made, and the stunt team aspect of it as well, because you are in a team that everybody is incredibly good at what they do, unbelievably humble, and to be part of that, embedded in that little group of people, working on a film that's massive with, again, so many different departments and thousands of people, working on it, that you would never imagine when you sit in the cinema and watch it. You have I didn't have any concept of what goes into it. And then to experience and see it and be part of it is brilliant, yeah.
Tell me about your first day on set.
I can't actually remember first day on set. I remember rehearsals a lot, and then.
So, okay, what's the process then? So as the process goes through, tell me the process of preparing for a Hollywood stunt. So I guess you got practice rehearsals, and then you shoot. You don't just rock up and straight on the shoot. You're straight on location and then do it from there.
Yeah, so Mission Impossible 5, if anyone's seen it, there's a cool bike chase scene in it, which is always cool in a film. But we rehearsed loads of it in the UK first. So there's lots of, with Wade in the car, he'd be like drifting the car around, and there'd be a few of us on bikes following him and making sure we could have good proximity, good speed, good awareness of everyone around us. So lots of training with Tom and Rebecca. Lots of testing of equipment, so the bikes, for instance, testing them out, testing tyres, kind of saying what we needed if we want tyre warmers on day or things like that. Testing out rigs, all sorts of cool stuff, but lots of it in the UK, just because it was such a big scene and it had a plan. There's lots of weaving through vehicles. And
do we do like Bedford or somewhere like that?
So we did a bit of Rockingham, bit of Goodwood, bit of Silverstone, a bit of Thruxton.
Oh, wow.
So all over.
Wherever you can get, basically, that will allow you the time to learn and go again. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there was a bit of Bedford, sorry. There was a bit of Bedford.
It's just one of the few places you can think of. It's got white lines in the road, so you got a bit of... But it just... So, and then you get to meet one of the... I know, it sounds... for me, it sounds daft, but you get to meet one of the biggest stars in Hollywood and work with them on a regular basis. And I said the same thing to Brains. It almost becomes second nature. And when you go and see Brain, you go, yeah, that's Tom's bike over there, or Kieran's working on that one, and you've worked with the two main stars as well. For a normo like me, that's just unbelievable. Yeah, to get to do something like that.
It is cool. It's funny because I was never like starstruck or anything. You know, I didn't go. It's just like a normal. I felt really normal. You know what I mean? And everybody's. He's just a normal human, isn't he? So, and the team's normal, and there's banter and the usual. It's just it's people in a different world. That's all. If you know what I mean.
I get it. Yeah, no, 100%. I get it. There are numerous riders I meet that I get on really well with that I don't get starstruck with. There are still a couple of riders that I do get starstruck with,
right?
Which is really weird.
Yeah,
I don't get it, but I can. There are riders of a different genre and of a different level that I can stand and talk to quite happily.
Yeah.
And there's one or two riders in BSB that I just go, whoa. A bit of an aura about. It feels weird. So when adapting to that and moving into the movie world then, what's been the best experience that you've had?
I'd say my first one, because I was so new to it and so green to it. I had the best time. I think also having like people that I knew, like Plater and Nita there, kind of helped as well, because we were all in it together kind of thing as a new experience. I got to meet some incredible people, like some of the long-term stunt people, and then some other people that came into, like Jorian Ponmaref, for instance, a French stunt guy. Like he was turned into one of my best friends, you know, he's so good. And the core stunt team, I just got on, obviously Rick, like I met Rick there and I'm still friends with Rick. So I think the fact that we had such a good time, it was intense, like it was long days and absolutely shattering and very nerve-wracking because I just felt on all the time, you know, just trying to do a really good job. But then the people that I met, I think, was the main thing, just the experiences. So I'd say Mission 5 was definitely the best one, but it was probably because it was new, because I've done some fantastic experiences since then, for sure.
When you're out there, and how does it compare to racing in terms of, like you said before, once your visor's down and your earplugs are in, and I guess there are similarities between the two, of being sat on the Glen Road, as you explained so eloquently earlier, that the focus is there, and one would assume it's the same principle when you're going for a take.
Yeah, I think it's good. All the racing background definitely bodes well for all the film stuff, because it is high pressure. It's got to be done on time. You've got to do the right thing, and when it's go, you know. So it's very much everything I've learned in racing, especially like even riding in close proximity to other riders and spatial awareness and speed and all of that. It all comes into benefit when you're on a film set like that, for definite. So I think that the racing helped hugely in terms of overcoming whatever you were asked of on set. Sure.
What's been your favourite scene that you've filmed so far?
I definitely like the riding downstairs thing on that Triumph Tiger, just because I'd never done anything like that before either, and it's a big bike to be riding down these stairs in Paris. Like that was good fun, and I got to do a few skids and a few jumps on that. So yeah, that was really enjoyable. All of it's been enjoyable too far. Actually, you mentioned the Batgirl thing. The Batgirl stuff that I did was brilliant because it was all in fire, so I had to wear all the fire retardant gel and fire retardant suit and stuff.
Brilliant.
Just got toasted, but it was just the best. Like I couldn't wait to get in the fire. It was the best thing ever. Definitely. When
does that come out? Middle of next year?
It's never coming out.
Is it not
going to make it? No. It was the best. Like scene.
That's why it's out on IMDb, because they're not going to make it.
Yeah, well, I think they've actually made the film, but they're not going to release it. It just got canned. Basically got canned. 90 million and it got canned, I think. But it's there somewhere. So if there's enough like petitioning, maybe one day they will.
I didn't realise they weren't going to drop it.
No, and Scott, who did the whole stunt coordinated the whole scene. It was the best thing ever. Unbelievable. So Batgirl's on a bike with a fire truck, and there's a bad guy called Firefly shooting fire at her, and
that sucks. I can't believe it.
It looked sensational.
Yeah,
but you never know. In the future, hopefully, it'll be.
I suppose a lot of that's out of your control, isn't it? You are contracted to do a job.
Yeah.
And it's way out of your control whether it actually goes into production or not.
Yeah, totally. Obviously, you're there to do a job. That's it, and you go home. But what a good job! It looked stunning. I'm so gutted no one's going to see it because the whole.
No rushes from it. No, you got nothing.
I got paid on the time.
No, I mean, but no footage.
I have got footage.
Oh, that's all right.
I've got yeah.
So at least you've got something.
Yeah, I've got loads of footage too.
Oh, that's good. I'd have been mortified if you'd done all that and there's nothing to show for it other than your paycheck.
No, I think I can put it out because I asked Rick, because obviously it's all secrets. Like, do you think I'm okay to show some of this now and add it to my stunt reel?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I think it'd be fine because it's good to show the stuff that you've done.
Absolutely.
Future works.
No, of course it is, because it's always going forward, and as productions get bigger and the actions, everybody loves an action movie.
Yeah, definitely. And if it's got a bike in it.
And if it's got a bike in it, it's even better.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So while things are keeping moving forward, but when you're working in the same circle and working for someone of Wade's standing in the industry, no relation to Clint because he's South African, isn't he? But for a guy who has such a standing in the Hollywood stunt world, you're going to be all right. I think that's like I say, coming back from Japan and the places that you've been and things that you've done, there's no end in sight to that yet. Fingers crossed, touch wood.
Yeah, but I mean, even if there is, I'm happy, you know what I mean? I've done some more and above what I thought I'd do and enjoy myself, so.
It's such a refreshing way to be. I love it. That's my view on life. And it's so good, you know. We did it, we enjoyed it. If that's it, that's it.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Yeah.
You're not going to lose any sleep over it. You come back here and you keep doing what you do here, and away you go.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I thought there was somebody sat over there. Then it's a picture of Tom Cruise. I thought there was somebody sat behind the computer,
listening in.
over there. Just somebody just listening in. What was I going to say? Tell me about Kieran Clark, because you work with Kieran.
Yeah, love Kieran. He's ace.
One of the forgotten riders of BSB, who was R6 Cup.
Yeah.
Rode for Rob Mack, and then did a couple of bits on his own, if I remember right. But then
Hydrex Honda as well.
He was at Hydrex, wasn't he?
Yeah.
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 So he had some good rides.
Yeah, fast.
Good rider.
Yeah, very good.
But what he's doing now in the movie world,
yeah,
is incredible. Some of the stuff that he's worked on that maybe dropped below the radar of bike racing fans. But I know he's good mates with Brains, and they've done quite a bit together in building bike rigs.
Yeah.
But what Kieran's on with his electric bikes, and he's been on Star Wars, he's worked on most of the productions that you've worked on as well.
Yeah, he's on all sorts. Yeah.
Incredible.
With his camera bike.
Yeah.
So he's got a zero electric bike that he's built into amazing camera bike with scaffolding basically to bolt cameras on the front and the back. And yeah, it's cool. He's getting to do some seriously cool stuff. And his bikes are lovely. If you ever look at his Instagram, and he's got he does that quaint little pictures of his bike, sneaky peek sort of thing.
Because the worst thing he could have is somebody else doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Because he did a lot of the work on Dead Reckoning, didn't he?
Yeah.
With the bikes on there and the camera bikes and a lot of the tracking that he does. And
yeah.
One thing that I see, and you'll see this a lot from your perspective on the bike, is how the cars operate with all the different cameras that are hanging out of them that are cut for different scenes. But now, when you used to see it in the old days, and you'd have the scenery going past, and they're just driving like whatever they're doing. But now they're so low to the ground on these dollies and rigs, but with the driver behind. And it's just Hollywood movie magic. Just blows me away.
Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. They should do when they make a film. They should totally. I mean, they do actually, don't need a behind the scenes thing.
Used to when you buy DVDs, you could see the extras.
Yeah, there should be a whole film on how they made the film.
It absolutely fascinates me, and for what you get to see, it's a privilege, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Without a doubt. Now I'm going to get my phone, missed calls and things like that, but we'll get back to those. Michael Howarth. Bless him. Hi, Michael. I know you're listening on a regular basis, and you listen as well. Thank you.
I do.
I get my feedback from Jenny as well.
It's brilliant. It's good.
We don't do so bad, do we? We keep you entertained while you're in here, and I know we've got a signal, so we're doing all right. So every month we have our patrons who subscribe, and it gives them the opportunity to ask questions of our guests. And what I don't do is have a look at the questions before we sit down. Apart from I did see one on the about being a female in motorcycle racing, so we avoided that one, so we can do that now. So the first one, Simon Breeze. I'm assuming Jenny still runs her bike shop. If so, what has been the biggest changes regards the repair and maintenance of motorcycles over recent times?
I don't think there's a huge difference. All I can see is people are hanging on to their bikes longer, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think we're getting more 4 or 5 year old bikes, maybe 3-year-old bikes. Not the kind of customer that would normally swap every year is hanging on to their bike and getting them serviced. And then definitely, the adventure market is definitely the thing, which everyone's seeing. That's huge. We definitely get more.
So you've seen a decline in the sports bikes?
Huge amount of adventure bikes for sure.
I'd love a multi-strada.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Nice.
Something else I can't ride. So thank you, Simon. Stacey Dando. Has Jenny experienced much sexism in the industry? And what advice would she give to women who are interested in getting into biking, either road or track, given it's a male-dominated environment?
I'd say no to any sexism, although I'm sure there's some behind closed doors, I don't know. But I'd say not.
If you don't know, you don't care.
No. No, it's always been extremely welcoming. There's tons of girls in the sport, more than you think, whether it be in the paddock, riding in the paddock, or in general, mums, sisters, wives.
You can never consider that side of it.
No.
They're all still there. Emma Marshall has 30 years as a tyre tech in the paddock.
Yeah.
So there's
definitely more than you even...
There's more than you realise, even if you're not on the grid. And the team coordinators, Holly, Kirsty, there's a big female presence.
Even you look at running of BSB, Stu Higgs and
Claire.
Yeah.
And Laura.
Yeah.
Lucy. The girls in race control and in the signing on. There's Christine and the ladies in there, and Olga on pit lane. So there's desperately trying not to miss anybody.
So I'm saying it's not a male dominated sport. I'm saying there's quite a good female dominance in there. But yeah, so I would say also I've always found motorbike racing to be extremely friendly, helpful, all inclusive, encouraging. So I would say if you want to get on track or ride a bike, definitely just come along, because I find guys just want to help you out. So don't have any fear or any trepidation about it. Just have a go, for sure.
Just do it.
Yeah, completely.
Just do it. And she ended off with, you've experienced and achieved so many fantastic things. What are your goals for the future?
I still want to continue to do anything I can, really. So I always just want to be better at whatever I'm doing. So I'd like to be better at stunts, always better mechanic, better rider. Still just want to continue to get better. So that's kind of my ambitions. Like trials riding, you mentioned before, I'm pretty awful at trials, so I want to get better at that. I want to be a better enduro rider.
I can recommend Inch Perfect trials. You've been up to Inch Perfect. Yeah. They're so good.
They are really good. And where the land they've got is fantastic, isn't it? Yeah.
Beautiful part of the world. Yeah. For anybody that wants to try the trials. I'm not affiliated to them. I'm not sponsored by them. Just the whole experience of being up there is just so cool. Thank you, Stacey. Maggie Day. Hi, Jenny. I've enjoyed chatting to you a few times now. Don't worry, I'm not expecting you to remember. Do you enjoy doing commentary at the TT, and would you like to do more of it?
I do. I love it. I'm just very fearful that I'm completely awful at it. But I do love doing it. So
go on.
I'm happy if I get fired because I'm really bad. But I love the point of going around and seeing what everyone else is up to. Because when I'm racing, I'm in my own bubble and I don't know what's going on in other teams. And I love going around and chatting to everybody and knowing what they're doing. I love the technical side as well. I find that super interesting. So I do love it. But I apologise if I'm really bad. But yeah. So I'd like to do more, but I don't mind if I don't.
Do you get media training?
No. Probably need a bit.
No, I'm just... That wasn't a pointed question, was it? That wasn't a pointed question. The great that you've been there and done it. So and it's not, again, something that comes second nature to you.
No, it's quite out of my comfort zone, to be fair. But I think that, again, that's why I wanted to see if I could have a go at that. And I do love it because it's just like, I feel so at home because the racing paddock feels like my home. So I love it. And then the bigger teams, like I say, getting to ask them what suspension they're changing, what they've done to, like when Hickey had that bad shake, what they did to try and solve that, and just bits and pieces, it's so interesting. I love it. Yeah.
The more you do it. I mean, when I go back to the first ever podcast I did, woeful. They're not perfect now. There's a lot I can learn, a lot I can improve on. But it just comes with time. You only get to do it for 2 weeks a year.
Yeah.
That's a difficult thing, and there aren't many other options to continue it through the year. So you're basically going in cold at the start of practice week.
Yeah.
And then develop through practice week, and then that's it for another 50 weeks. So it's difficult to maintain, to get some momentum.
Yeah, I think it's obviously there's people that naturally good at, like Lee's fantastic at it and it's funny, and there's other people that naturally... It
hasn't pissed you off, doesn't it?
Naturally dispositions to be awesome at it, whereas I have to work at it a bit. So that's why I feel like I'm terrible, but I do enjoy it.
It's definitely. It's all that matters. And we can't go down the terrible route because nobody knows what it's like to be live and in that situation. We can't all be Lee Johnston, Matt Roberts, Grace.
Whittam, funny. Whittam's genius.
Wish has been doing it for years. I mean, and now he's got his own podcast, which he's doing superbly well with Jack.
Yeah.
And that's superbly well produced. Not two little cameras like this.
This is brilliant. This is good enough.
We're just sitting here doing this. But he's great. That's interesting. That. Thank you. Chris Turner. Would Jenny ever consider becoming a rider coach or working for a team on the spanners?
Both. I'd love to do both. Definitely, yeah. I've obviously done a bit of coaching on track days, but I do love that aspect of it for defo. And I did a bit of mechanicking a few years ago in a team. So yeah, both. Anything in the paddock's fine by me.
The opportunity arises. If you need a number, you know where to find it. Thank you, Chris. Craig Lowe. We've got a couple from Craig. What does Jenny think of the current state of British young riders coming through the ranks and their chances into the World Series?
It's difficult, isn't it? Especially when you're competing against Spanish, like their path to youngsters to MotoGP. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've got, is it FabTech, and there are some series where youngsters can come through, but it's the financial side, isn't it? The infrastructure that's kind of lacking. Yeah, it all boils down to money and
It's money and infrastructure again.
So I'd love to build a Rossi's Ranch, but a UK version, and then have something as a just a training ground. I'm sure, do they have like a college or a university or something where you can literally just train to be a bike racer in Spain? I'm sure
It does, yeah, like Monlau and people like that, Aspar, they have their own academies that will take a rider all the way through.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the Rossi Ranch thing, I'll tell you about that off camera, because I know something about that. That's not for sharing on the podcast, unfortunately, because I will get crucified for it. What advice would you give to your younger self? This goes back to what we said earlier on about enjoying and being in the moment. What advice would you give to your younger self, knowing what you know now with regards to the circuit, road racing, film and TV work?
Ooh, I don't know. If I could probably change aspects of my personality, it would be a bit more out.
But then you wouldn't be you.
Yeah.
And then you maybe wouldn't have enjoyed it as much as you did.
Maybe.
I get it. You are who you are. There's no point in changing it.
Yeah.
Because you've never been any different.
Yeah.
Could you have achieved more? Could you have gone further in the sport? Who knows? But it doesn't matter.
No.
For me, this is my take on that, because of who you are and the personality that you have.
Yeah, and then everything that's happened is all, I don't know, I've enjoyed everything, so there's not really, whichever way, you could say I could have like tried to be more outspoken or more better at publicity and things like that, you know what I mean? But
self-promotion.
Yeah, maybe I could have found it a bit easier than I did.
Yeah. Through the stunt work and everything else, it's all there because of who you are now, not who you could have been differently.
Yeah, yeah.
The opportunity may not have come around if you were a different character.
Yeah, true. Like it.
I'm good at this. Been doing this a while. And what does Jenny see as her greatest achievement?
Definitely the Isle of Man stuff's cool. That's definitely a good achievement.
It's a big level, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it was fun. It was good. And then getting myself into superbikes is, I'm pretty proud of that.
Another achievement. They're big achievements. They're not to be sniffed at in any way, shape, or form. And the last one, it's not a question, but it's just an old photographer who used to supply you with. He's not old, but in terms of when he supplied you with images, Glenn Coombs, freeze frame photography, sends his very best regards.
Cool.
Because he supplied you with photos back in the day.
Thank you,
Jenny. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Can you believe that's been? I guess it's about an hour and 45 minutes.
That's it. Oh crikey, sorry.
Oh no. This is what I do. I'm the one holding you back from the spanner in. But it's been absolutely fascinating. Well worth the wait. Let's do it again sometime.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. It's been great.
Keep an eye out with what's going on with the films. But until then, just a brilliant Jenny Tinmouth.
Thank you.